As year 2023 winds down, correspondent examines 10th Senate 6 months after coming on board. Be positive towards present administration, Senator urges Nigerians. And more on tributes on the man Galina Abba as final burial takes place in Kano. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliamentary News. I'm Amina Saidu Abubakar. Senate has in the last 6 months exercised its constitutional duties to ensure smooth running of government and delivery of good governance to citizens. The recent is the consideration of the 2024 Appropriation Bill, which is the third money bill given expeditious consideration by the Senate. The first being the amendment of the 2022 supplementary budget that made provisions for palliatives to cushion the effect of full subsidy removal. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Aside budget passage, the Senate, in line with its constitutional responsibilities, screened and confirmed ministers and other appointees of President Tinubu. The Chief of Defense Staff and Service Chiefs, heads of key government organs like the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, as well as their board members were also screened and confirmed. And still counting, close to 200 appointees were confirmed in the last 6 months. Also in the period under review, some faces have disappeared in the Red Chamber as some others got the appellation of distinguished after winning election cases at the appellate court, so leading to additions and subtractions with regards to number in representation by party affiliation. In another twist, the defection of Senator Anduba to the APC led to the elimination of the Young Progressives Party from the Red Chamber. As the Senate embarks on Christmas and New Year festivities, the lawmakers are willing to resume in 2024 to face some issues on the table. Top on the list include amendments to the Constitution and the Electoral Act to further engender democracy and good governance.
What brought me to Abuja was transformational leadership. We will transform the laws of Nigeria. We will reform those things that we can reform for Nigeria to work.
In order to contribute to the effort of the Senate and the entire Nigeria towards giving Nigerians the best, leading to the transformation of our dear country in line with the New Hope agenda.
We are going to sharpen our oversight this time around. We are going to ensure that all the ministries, all the departments, all the agencies that have anything to do with appropriation of Nigerian naira and kobo,
without giving local government or local governments their desired and required autonomy in all ramifications, we will only be dancing around the sphere.
We urge the critical stakeholders of this country, political leaders, civil society organizations, and security agencies to do more to move this country forward, collaborate with the 10th Assembly.
From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The Osun State House of Assembly has passed the 2024 Appropriation Bill, totaling 273 billion naira, as presented by Governor Ademola Adeleke. The announcement was made by the Speaker of the House, Adewale Egbedu, during the House proceedings in Osogbo, the state capital. Assembly correspondent Muyiwa Omaumi reports.
After being read for the third time at the Alo Chamber of Osun State House of Assembly, Majority Leader Honorable Babajide Kuforola moved motion and the 2024 appropriation bill of over 273 billion naira was passed by the 26 lawmakers of the Assembly.
Wednesday, 23 December 2023,
The Speaker, Adewale Egbedu, commended the House for their determination and commitment to ensuring the swift passage of the 2024 appropriation bill into law. He described the collaboration between the legislative and the executive as a positive indicator of unity and synergy for the state's overall development. He urged the state government to ensure the full implementation of the budget upon the governor's assent. The House directed the clerk of the House to produce a clean copy of the bill for the governor's formal approval.
And the final final copy of the bill will be produced in due course and forwarded to His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Osun State, Senator Ademola Jackson, for his assent. Thank you. Our budget friends, throughout our 6 months in office, I want to use this opportunity to assure you that we will always give it my very best to support this house and to support this government.
Governor Ademola Adeleke presented over 273 billion before the lawmakers on the 9th of November for the consideration and approval christened budget of reconstruction and recovery. From the Osun State House of Assembly, Muiwa Omoumi, NTA News.
The Abuja State 2024 Appropriation Bill has scaled through third reading at the State Legislative Chamber in Umuahia. Chika Okori reports that the legislative proceedings was the last for 2023 as members proceeded for Christmas and New Year break.
The passage of the proposed 2024 budget estimates, which pegged capital and recurrent expenditures at approximately 476 billion and 91 billion naira respectively, was the main business of the day. Consequently, the leader of the House, Uchenna Okoro, a member representing Isialangwa South constituency, Dennis Chinwendo, moved and seconded a motion that paved the way for the Joint Committee of Appropriation Budget, Planning and Multilateral to present its work.
I have here with me the report of the House of Assembly, Joint Committee of Appropriation Budget, Planning and Multilateral. On HAB8, the committee works to make the necessary adjustments in order to give commensurate sum to the projects, and some MDAs we are slightly affected.
Through a voice vote, members gave consent to the appropriation bill of 567.2 billion naira for the 2024 fiscal year. There was also a Christmas and New Year messages from principal officers.
This law may be cited as 2024 Appropriation Law of the State of Nigeria and shall come into force on the first day of January 2024. Those who say aye. Those against say nay.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the leadership you've given us thus far, and I thank the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. for making our job quite easier for us. I move a motion for the House to adjourn this sitting and to reconvene on Thursday, the 18th day of January 2024.
Since the legislature has done the needful by ensuring that the 2024 appropriation bill passed third reading in less than 2 weeks it was presented, the people would be expecting the executive arm of government to hit the ground running by January 1st, 2024 to ensure full implementation of the document to better lives. From the hallowed chamber of the Abia State House of Assembly, Chika Okori, NTA News.
The Cross River State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of Chris Etim Young as the chairman of the State Audit Service Commission and other members. Udwak Etim reports that the House called for effective coordination and monitoring of accounting policies by the Commission to ensure compliance with laws and regulations.
A report by the Committee on Judiciary, Public Service Matters, Petition and Conflict Resolution on the screening of the nominees for the confirmation of appointments as chairman and members of the Cross River State Audit Service Commission was read to the House by the Deputy Minority Leader and Chairman of the Committee, Davis Eta. Having received the report on the screening, which took place on the 12th of December 2023, members of the Cross River State House of Assembly noted that the pedigree of personalities nominated by the Governor to the Commission are experienced, believing they will do well.
These people are tested and trusted. Some retired permanent secretaries, some members of ICANN, and what have you.
Set of perseverance are highly qualified to take charge of the Audit Commission of Cross River State.
on this recommendation, the appointment of Chris Etam-Young as chairman and other members of the Audit Service Commission were confirmed. As Speaker, Cross River State House of Assembly, Elbert Ayambem, speaks.
All of the nominees are not belonging to any political party, and for whichever reason they belong to political party, the governor didn't actually take that into cognizance before choosing them to represent us as different strata. He basically came up with a bunch of very competent and proficient people in their different fields and walks of life. I'm trusting God that they will put in their best, they will come up very strong, and Cross River State will move ahead again.
The chairman of the commission promised effective administration of financial reporting for transparency and accountability.
We will support His Excellency as a commission to build capacity in the management of public resources. We will assist him to build competencies in the accountability and transparency framework of governance.
Charlie Joseph Arako is the deputy chairman. Bastieko is the secretary of the commission, while 7 members, including Auditor General for State and that of local government, are to serve as state official members. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
Still to come, life and legacies of late Speaker Gali Umar Abba. These and more stories when we return. Stay with us.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the marketing department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Senator representing Gombe South in the National Assembly, Anthony Yaru, has encouraged members of his constituency to remain positive towards the present administration's drive to improve the living conditions of the electorates. The senator, who was among thousands of worshippers in Ekwa Gelengu LCC, Balanga local government area of Gombe State, appreciates God for peaceful celebrations in the area. Abasmi Kanu reports.
Delivering his sermon during the special Christmas service, Pastor Iliad Ankoli of Ekwa LCC Gumsa, who took his text from the book of John, verse 3 to 6, with the theme, Believing in Jesus Christ for Eternal Rest, encouraged the gathering to always uphold that Jesus Christ died for the sins of Christians, hence the need for the celebration. Senator representing Gombe South in the National Assembly, Anthony Yaro, felicitated with the entire Christians for witnessing yet another period that commemorates the birth of Jesus Christ. He also commended the peaceful atmosphere enjoyed in the area and called on the electorate to remain positive to the present democratic government as it has a lot of humanitarian projects. He said all the representatives from the state are working as a team with a view to bringing development for the benefit of all. Other dignitaries who spoke during the special church service includes Mr. Achana Gaius Yaro, wife of the Senator Mrs. Fatima Antoni, and Barrister Hemen Darius Daniel, among other dignitaries. In Gombe, Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
A former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Gali Umar Abba, has been laid to rest in Kano according to Islamic rites. Mohammed Ibrahim reports that Vice President Kashim Shettima was among thousands that attended the funeral prayer held at Kano Emir's Palace.
The funeral prayer was led by the Chief Imam of Kano State, Professor Zahiruddin Sani, amidst different personalities. The late Gali Umar Abba was a Nigerian politician and a former Speaker of the House of Representatives. The deceased was described as one of Nigeria's active lawmakers.
He's a leader, and as a leader, we'll always miss him for what he has done to Nigeria, especially in the field of legislation.
He spoke for democracy, he defended democracy, and he defended and projected the image of our country and of course our National Assembly.
During his lifetime, Naabba has received honors from government agencies and other organizations in appreciation of his exceptional political career, pioneering political independence and legislative progress, and profound defense of democracy, the rule of law, as well as the Constitution.
During his time, he protected the integrity of the National Assembly.
Some exit will provide a vacuum that will be too hard to fill.
He stood by the democracy up to the end of his life.
Age 65, the deceased is survived by a wife and 10 children. In Kano, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
The late Gali Umar Naabba became the second Speaker of the House of Representatives at the onset of the Fourth Republic in 1999. In this tribute, National Assembly correspondent Mitari Ikpen tells us more about the Kano lawmaker described by many as a pillar of Nigeria's legislative practice.
Nigerians woke up Wednesday morning to news of the death of former Speaker, House of Representatives, Gali Umar Naabba at the age of 65. The late Gali Umar Naabba became a household name in Nigeria's political firmament when he emerged Speaker of the House of Representatives after the certificate crisis that compelled the first Speaker of the Fourth Republic, Salisu Buhari, to resign. Naabba from Kano State and elected member of the House of Representatives in 1999 made history then as the 8th Speaker of the Green Chamber from 1999 to 2003 and the first to emerge by an unprecedented consensus in Nigeria's Fourth Republic. The late Gali Umar Naabba is remembered as a strong proponent of the independence of the legislature, renowned for marching in with members of the House into the Senate chamber to show solidarity with late Senate President Chuba Okadigbo at the peak of the impeachment plot against the presiding officer of the Senate in the year 2000.
His stern position that the legislature should be independent, that cost him his second-term election.
He was also famous for mobilizing lawmakers against the purported third-term bid of former President Olusegun Obasanjo.
At the time that he would have just kept quiet and then enjoyed the patronage of the executive arm of government, he stood firmly, resolutely, bravely, and I dare say, and ensured that nobody pocketed the House of Representatives.
Many also recalled Naabba's brilliant speech in response to former American President Bill Clinton when he visited the National Assembly.
There were issues whether he should visit because Gali was presiding. And he stood his ground on everything. He never looked for comfort. He looked for what is right.
In a tribute, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, says the late Naabba was one of Nigeria's finest lawmakers. The Speaker notes, and I quote, "Right Honorable Gali Naabba was a special breed as a lawmaker. He showed leadership as Speaker of the Fourth House. He inspired members of the House under his leadership in many ways. Furthermore, he championed the first and only successful veto of a sitting president, leading to the establishment of the NDDC." End of quote. The late Gali Umar Naabba is also described as a public commentator, always ready to pass on institutional memory to present-day leaders and younger generation. Until his death, he was a lecturer at the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies postgraduate program. The media continues to be awash with tributes to the late lawmaker, who many say took some landmark decisions in furtherance of the country's democratic journey. Mitaire Ikmen, NTA News.
Joining us to shed more light on the life and times of late former Speaker Gali Umar Naabba is the veteran journalist Ben Agandi. Having covered the House of Representatives during the tenure of Gali Umar Naabba as Speaker, what can you tell us about his person and character?
You know, we remember with nostalgia the leadership that the man provided, the dynamism that he brought into it, and the resolute way he stood for the independence of the legislative arm of government. Even at the time that people thought that he was being unnecessarily obstinate, I think he was positively obstinate, and then that positivity is what has remained in the parliament, even though very many people think that the era of his leadership of the parliament remains a very golden one. And then people look forward to having that kind of parliament that will work not for their own selfish reasons, for selfish aims, but will work for the people of Nigeria and for the institution that they represented. You know, he found an intellectual partner in the Senate, in the person of Chuba Okadibo. You know, when the reactionary forces moved against Chuba, I remember very well Senator Gandhi of Sule Yari Gandhi of blessed memory, Kalinaba, Celestine Uganzi of blessed memory, West Idahosa, senior advocate of Nigeria, Chidi Duru, and all of them dynamic young leaders. They mobilized and thwarted the attempt by the executive to foist a leadership on the Senate. Eventually, Chuba Okadibo was removed, but what they did sent a very strong message that you cannot just come and perpetrate illegality in the hollow chambers of both the Senate and the House of Representatives and go away scot-free.
What was the impression at that time when the late former Speaker Gali Umar Na'aba gave a speech in response to visiting American President Bill Clinton on the floor of the House of Representatives?
That was typical of Na'aba. He was not going to play to the gallery because he had a visitor in the chambers. He needed the world to know that they are dealing with somebody who, by the way, had the respect of the whole world. But then, in doing that, he was trying to emasculate the independence of the judiciary. And Na'aba felt that that was an opportunity for him to appeal to the conscience of the leader of the democratic world, to tell him that, yes, this man is your contemporary president, but then you need to also let him know that being a strong man is not enough. He also has to encourage the strength of the other arms of government. And I think it was only natural that Bill Clinton was going to be wowed by what Na'aba did. It shows that that was the typical courage and brave nature of Na'aba. He couldn't have chosen a better audience to deliver that speech that he did.
Thank you very much. That has been Ben Agande, a veteran journalist, speaking on the life and times of the late Gali Umar Na'aba. Former President Muhammadu Buhari mourns the passing of Governor Akeredolu of Ondo State, describing him as a towering political and legal luminary. The former president says he has lost a valued friend and prayed that his soul finds eternal peace. He condoles the family, the government and people of Ondo State and to all Progressive Congress in general. In the message, the former president condoles Na'aba's family in Kano, the government and people of the state, describing the demise of the former Speaker, House of Representatives, as a national loss. Senator David Mark has mourned the deaths of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State and former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Gali Umar Na'aba. Describing the deaths of the two leaders as exits of two political giants, Senator Mark said their demise has created a huge vacuum in the political class. In a statement by his media advisor, Paul Mome, Senator Mark noted the exploits of Akeredolu in legal profession before going into politics to contribute to the development of his home state, Ondo, and Nigeria. He said the nation has lost a forthright, sincere, and an unrepentant defender of the rule of law and protection of human rights. On Na'aba, Senator Mark noted that the former speaker was in the forefront in the struggle for democracy and indeed laid the foundation for the present democratic dispensation. That's the size of our news at this hour, but you can still watch our news and other programs on the social media handles scrolling on your screen. On behalf of the production crew, thank you for watching. I'm Amina Saeed Abubakar.